So introduce set data as serializer. Now we got the serializer. I set it up as a state. I'll go back out, and in here I'm gonna be removing this. And since I'm calling settings, which would have a serializer, and then what I'll do is I'll take the tree of this like this, and then delete the import. Down here under the settings, what I'll do is constant serializer would be equal to this tree, and it would be equal to serializer. Now I got those functions. As you can see, they're toggled as a function because they've been already declared. Now the serializer get moved. So what I'm gonna be doing, as you can see over here, we have added a state that actually not getting the items. So what I'm gonna do is I'm gonna state if serializer over here is false, then shouldn't be getting this. And then instead of me actually calling this over here as this, I'll be down here and just putting down dot serializer, and now I'll be repeating the same thing here, which is in this one over here. So dot press go. Actually, I should be adding it here. Oh yeah, that is correct. I'm just gonna need to add dot here, which should be fine. Let's actually return it in this one. I'll copy this back. I'll remove this one. Put it both actually, not just one. And I'll start it here. Actually here. I'll do if serializer dot, so we don't get errors, dot press go to loop. As you see now, the errors go. It's like checking if the function is existing because it's undefined. If you remember, I told you we're gonna need to handle undefined state when I have added the functions. Now few more and we're gonna be done. What I can do also, I can add it here and say and serializer from the beginning, and I can remove this since I don't need it. But since the function is far, it cannot actually reach to this one. So we'll see. So it's an object of any. So here we just have set serializer dot. So let's say very undefined. I can say here any, and we can remove the L. And here we can say so. Well, actually, best way is to start from this side. You just take this off. Like this. Okay, remove it from the wrong side. Let's do it like this. Now, after removing this, again, yeah. Constant value column foundation. Instead of return, actually I'll be mapping this inside, give me a second, which is equal to canvas Now, what I'll do is I'm just gonna do this. Now, okay, then what you're gonna do is capture data, and here we may actually put in oh, it's not actually good because, but at the moment we just want to see if it's gonna pick the file. After that, I will have to redefine things again. So our last part, same thing as earlier. Hopefully, okay. Now, last, okay, two more. We're gonna be finished here. So let's find again the same thing. Now the last one I missed here, which would be here. If and slash slash as if this state is false, just to return straightforward this, do not go down to the rest of the code. That's why we add this condition of false in the beginning so it doesn't crash. So serial file, and then over here is just missing serial file. But so over here we're done. Okay, after all this, our provider is nearly done. Strange actually. Over here also I'll be adding the same conditions. Make sure that everything runs once the engine and the serializer are there, otherwise we don't want to run things. Perfect. Now we have our serializer over here, which would not run, nothing would run if it's not there, which we got up from our settings, engine and serializer. Now we're gonna have to add options for adding that serializer because we didn't add it yet. We just created the function to add it and the function to read it. So now at this point, we have the structure, but we are not actually yet reading the file because we're gonna need to go inside here, codes, our engine here and replace our serializers. For example, I was using from in here, so I'll be actually using Studio, calling here serializer. Let me just double check. No, not Studio, sorry, settings, which is no serializer. Now in here, as you can see, it's serializer dot format code. If I go back, now copy this, maybe serializer format code. It is there. It doesn't matter that you need first to say if serializer dot format code return now, and on the top here still have one more, which is this one. Since they're both at the same point, so I'm just gonna add another condition stating the same thing in case with the second prop it's not there, so it doesn't actually break down our codes. Now after this it should be removed, so we finished from one. We still have another one to go. Oh, I forget actually translate alias. My apologies. Yeah, it's taken 3 and returning a string. You see, when you don't define the types, you will get errors like that, stating that the types are not matching. So once you get those, you're just gonna have to redefine them back again. Once you define them, the error is gone. Now you have one should be gone now, which is translator alias. Now let me see what other functions. Okay, so the other functions are in here. Now if add again another, so it doesn't run the loop of use effect if the serializer is not there. Serializer. Dot serialize file. Now we're gonna add again same here. But translate to standard, and here we're gonna change this to translate to standard, and translate to standard it should return a comment. Let me see. Yeah, okay, translate to standard returns. Let me just double check what were the return in our serializer. So it's just strange. So put it as a strange. Now it should be fine. Last few things. Also we have format. Which would be serializer format to go. And just gonna take this and serializer format to go. Let me just double check if I just actually put it this is false to return, but no, I need actually to specify them one by one. And I just okay, serializer dot that, and let translate, I guess. No. Pull it up. Still have only one translate radius, which still did not actually use the serializer, which is here. The file is finished, body is finished, but now we're gonna have to go to tabs, make sure that the file is being added, otherwise we're not gonna be getting that file running correctly. So engine language, then to make it easy, we're just gonna look for this one where it is, and instead here we're just gonna add serializer and set active serializer or set serializer. Seems like I didn't put it, so I'm gonna have to go back and put set serializer. I forgot actually to call it here. Now, now I do set serializer, we get it here. Now we're gonna be looking for add engine. So over here we got add file configuration, which for this one's over here. Now we will need check serializer, hash serializer. Okay. So this is the verification. If hash serializer has, okay, prop source. Actually, I do have it into source. Never actually checked my engine source. Let me double check my engine source actually. Just realized that all the packages are here, so I'm just gonna do cancel dot full file config dot source. Now let me just rerun this. I know it's complex. Sometimes you run code until you find out, oh, okay, I actually did this. Why? Like I have to do it back there. So actually, I have the serializer within the language, but its problem was not actually defined. Let's upload file, confirm. Now let me open and see the cancel log config.ts. Okay. So this is my serializer. It's a string over here which contain content. So if I want to see the whole context, I can copy it, come over here, and if I print it and do, for example, as this, because it's a JSON, and inside it's a body, prime, result, let, constant type. I need to trim, which is incorrect. Now let me do it again. Should be getting me a clean text. Now let's roll it again. As you can see, we get a clean text. So for me, I would rather save it as this, as trimmed. Then as trimmed, but I don't need it as a text. Now we are into a point where we're gonna need to define, would it be reading it as a text or as a code? Because it need to be read as a code. If it read it as a text, it shouldn't be working. So if we look at, it should be a code. Right now, if we trim it and put it, it should be as a code. So I can do like in here set, since I have trimmed this, so I can do set serializer would be equal to this over here value, which would be to press JSON because it's being taken as a text, so it's not actually gonna be. And if I put as any at the moment, it's not gonna work correctly, but I was just gonna test if I would be getting serializer as I want it or not. Actually, let me extract exactly the functions. It should not be working like this, but anyway, I'm just gonna copy the console right here. We're gonna have to extract. So serializer would be like this. It would not work properly. Now, let me double check how they're gonna be occurring. Is it gonna be reading it as a function or as a text? Because I trimmed everything, which is good, but apply didn't give any error of any type, which is a good thing. So let me see if we can get as log. Now our serializer got the input as this, which we didn't want actually. Okay. So what I'll do is go back. So in here, Press, I need data, yes. So as I said, the problem is actually the JSON. I need to press in it. So because they read it as a strange, which would not allow us. Now, as you can see now, they are not strange, but they're being picked. So the way I'm gonna be doing this, because I have already function declare as that, so I'm just gonna open my bracket and I'm just gonna do serializer.file, which would be equal serializer.file. Now, what I may do, because I don't want to retype everything back again, I may just copy like this. Oh, come over here. I'm just gonna close this one because having two multiple windows is confusing sometimes. Come back here and I'm just gonna do a slash and then add the rest like this, which is wrong because non-consuming time. What I'll do is I'm just gonna replace those over here. Let me see. Place all this section. And then I'm gonna start redefining them back. So it may take just a few seconds, so don't rush. Actually, this is wrong. This over here. Now, let me just copy all of them as this. Now I'm gonna go back until this point here. And then I'm gonna paste all of them over here, like this. Then save, and here we go. Now, let me delete. So if it works, we're gonna get the files. Otherwise, it's gonna give us an error. So we're gonna see. So upload, files are there, on apply. As I said, import I. We're in language tab where we are. The I, where is the I? So what I'll do like this. And I'll do cancel log. And I'll do some add them here. Now let me view again. See import. Await run verification, which is this one over here. So the function has verification is this one. So the error is coming from our config file where we have specified press init.json. But past the engine, we should actually. So, we'll be back in